Hey, what's up? Welcome to Through the Mixing Glass. My name is Joel. Thank you so much for joining us for this special episode. Today we're going to be talking about Amaro. If you're not familiar, Amaro are bitter Italian liqueurs that get their flavor from herbs, roots, spices, barks, dried citrus peels, things like that, botanical ingredients like that. They're super complex and each bottle is completely unique. Some of them are on the sweeter side, others are intensely bitter. And I'm not intending for this video to be a full 101 explainer about Amaro, but what I will say is that they're a great way to work in complex flavors into your cocktails at home. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be making 3 Amaro Daiquiris, ranging from a beginner level one to a much more advanced one. And my hope is that by watching this video, you'll start to figure out how you can start incorporating Amaro into your home bar. All right, let's get started.
Our first drink today is the Getaway, which was created at the Columbia Room in Washington, D.C. First into our shaker is half an ounce of simple syrup. The recipe calls for a rich 2-to-1 simple syrup, so use that if you have it. If not, you may want to use a bit more simple to balance out the full ounce of freshly squeezed lemon juice that we're adding now. And for the Amaro in this, we're going to be using half an ounce of Cynar. Cynar has been around since the 1950s, and one of its primary ingredients is artichokes. Don't worry, it doesn't taste like artichokes, it's super approachable and works great in this drink. Lastly, we're adding a full ounce of blackstrap rum. I'm going with Cruzan. If you don't have blackstrap rum, feel free to use another black or dark rum. Alright, I'm going to set this aside for a moment while we make our next 2 drinks. Next up is my own take on an Amaro Daiquiri, and because I can't think of anything better, I'm calling this the Wonder City Daiquiri. Let's first add 3/4 of an ounce of simple syrup. And we're going to match that with 3/4 of an ounce of lemon juice. Our Amaro for this is Agrestis Amaro, which is made right here in New York City. This is a fairly intense Amaro that has a lot of fresh, minty flavor from the spearmint and peppermint that are used in it. And sticking with our New York City theme, we're adding 1.5 ounces of Owney's New York City rum. Feel free to substitute any white rum you like here if you can't get your hands on this one. And our final drink today comes from the Chicago bar Billy Sunday. First up is 3/4 of an ounce of freshly squeezed lime juice. Next is 3/4 of an ounce of simple syrup. Use a gum syrup here if you really want to take the texture of this drink to the next level. Next up, the recipe calls for Sfumato Rababaro, which unfortunately I don't have. I'm going to substitute Amaro del Etna, which I think should work here. Both feature rhubarb in their ingredients and have a dark, smoky flavor. Our last ingredient is Braulio Amaro, which is a super intense Alpine-style Amaro. The recipe for this is a secret, but we know it's made using ingredients sourced in the Alps. You can expect this Amaro to bring notes of licorice, clove, juniper, and mint.
All right, there we have it, our 3 Amaro Daiquiris. We've got our beginner one right here, our intermediate one right here, and our advanced one right here. Let's give them a try. We'll start with the beginner one. Cheers. Oh my gosh. So this is the first time I've had this one. It's delicious. It is so good. The way the blackstrap rum pairs with the Cynar, so tasty. I imagine if you use like Demerara syrup, that would take this to the even next level, but it is so delicious. It's very sweet, actually. It's not nearly as bitter as you might expect, considering that, you know, it's got an Amaro as one of the main ingredients. It's a sweeter drink. This is a good gateway drink for people who want to try out Amaro in a cocktail and kind of see if it's something for them. Let's go ahead and give our intermediate Daiquiri a try. This is the one that I created myself. Cheers. Oh gosh. Layers of flavor there. Very different than this one though. They both have rum, they both have Amaro. Could not be more different. You get a lot of kind of anise flavor with the St. Agrestis Amaro. That Amaro is on the more bitter side. It's not quite as intense as the Braulio, which we will taste in just a minute here. But it's got a lot of bitterness to it. Very intensely flavored, spices, maybe some cloves in there I'm picking up on. Just a really, really good drink that I think shows how you can have, you know, an intense Amaro in your cocktail, but it doesn't, you know, kick your butt. It's not going to take over the drink. It's a big flavor here, but it's not like it's so big that it's all you taste. And that's kind of what I like about it. All right, there is only one left, the Billy Sunday Amaro Daiquiri with only Amaro in it, no other base spirit, and two pretty intensely flavored ones. That's why I put this in kind of the more advanced one. Let's go ahead and give it a try. Cheers. Oh, wow. Oh, gosh. So much going on in there. It really hits you with the bitterness. Long, lingering finish on my tongue from the Braulio. Really intense flavor. Let's go in for another sip. Texture is incredible. Love the froth on top. I do not recommend making this for your first Amaro Daiquiri. It is good. I think it'd be fair to say that it's a little bit challenging. It's a challenging drink. It tastes good, but it's not something that you're like, oh, I gotta go back in for another sip immediately, because it's got a long, lingering finish that you kind of gotta work through just to get the full flavor profile. Let's give it another try. Smoky. It's a dark drink. It's a very dark drink. It is a complex drink that frankly, I don't have the tasting skills to be able to do this drink justice. There is so much going on in there. I'm getting a lot of cola, licorice, various other spices. It's good. It's intense though, and it's a challenging drink. If you are new to Amaro, start with either of these first. The Getaway, the one with Cynar in it, beautiful gateway drink. Someone will make this for the first time and they will fall in love with the idea of using Amaro in their cocktails. So good. Highly recommend the blackstrap rum in it if you can get it. If not, just a dark rum. Black rum would work out well for that as well. This one, really good. Kind of splits the difference a little bit. This is sweet, easy drinking. This is really intense. This one's kind of right in the middle, you know? It's a good next step. The other thing I just want to mention is, you know, a lot of these bottles have very unique flavor profiles. They can be hard to mix and match. But there are good resources out there. You can find stuff online that'll tell you, what Amaros you can sub for each other. I do that a lot personally. If you are looking for one bottle of Amaro to buy, I highly recommend, just as a first bottle, Amaro di Angostura. It's got a lot of the same flavor profile as, Angostura bitters, but it's lengthened out. It's in an Amaro format, so it's easy to sip on, it's easy to mix with. You can use it in a ton of different drinks. That's a great first bottle. And I'm just gonna go ahead and say, I think your next bottle, if you're not gonna do Amaro di Angostura, should be Cynar. That's just a great Amaro, good entry-level Amaro that'll give you kind of like, lots of different things that you can do with it. It's a very versatile ingredient, ton of drinks out there that you can try it in, including this one right here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you will give one or all of these a try. I am liking these a lot, but I would like to know what you think. Why don't you let me know in the comments what you think of Amaro, and do you ever use them in a daiquiri or other type of cocktail? Please let me know in the comments. If you liked what you saw here today, I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe. That would help me out a lot. And I will catch you on the next episode. And I'm gonna say cheers with this one because it's probably my favorite so far. Oh.